sign of life after a weekend of devastating floods. Local officials say more than 100 people were killed when torrential rainfall caused the Guadalupe River to surge nearly 30 feet. Many children are among the dead and dozens are still missing. Rescue crews have not found any survivors since Friday. The overnight flooding hit Kerr County especially hard. Several campers from Camp Mystic, a girls' summer camp, remain missing. Children at 2 other camps along the river were forced to evacuate, but are all accounted for. Earlier, Texas Governor Greg Abbott gave an update on response efforts, and he describes it as one of the worst disasters in the state's history.
To put this into perspective, just in the Kerr and Kendall counties alone, there are far more fatalities than there were in Hurricane Harvey. That's how catastrophic this is.
President Trump has also issued a federal disaster declaration for Texas. He and the First Lady plan to visit the area on Friday.
It's possible they could have somebody saved still.
Yes,
There's a lot of areas. It's a big area, and it's probably unlikely at this point. But there could be. They're thinking there could be the possibility. But what a tragic situation.
CBS News correspondent Nydia Cavazos joins us now from Kerrville, Texas. And Nydia, thank you very much for being with us. Where do search efforts stand at this point?
Nancy, as of this morning, we were under the impression that searchers here were looking for several people who were still missing. This is the information we had received from local officials. But the latest update now includes 161 people who are missing. This is the latest update we received from Texas Governor Greg Abbott, and this includes people from Camp Mystic, but people who were not necessarily registered with the camp. They were not staying at a hotel, but whose family members have reached out and they are looking for answers. Now, on the ground, now we have several teams. This is also several agencies, federal, state, and local level, who are here to help, who are here to try to find some answers, but time is ticking. And like you mentioned, there hasn't been a single person who has been rescued alive since Friday.
Nydia, there's also been a lot of conversation about what people knew and when. What more have we learned about when emergency notifications were sent out and why these floods took so many people by surprise?
For now, we know that the National Weather Service issued their own alerts, but this came in the middle of the night and early Friday morning when most people were asleep. But the question here that many people are asking is, what could have been done and what did local officials do to make sure that their people knew that this was coming? And local officials have not been answering these questions. They're saying now is not the time to be asking them because their priority right now is in locating all of these people who are missing and in notifying their family members. We heard it this morning. They dodged the questions yet again for a 5th day. They say their priority right now is in asking people for help. They need help with volunteers for this area that spans for miles and miles. And they're also asking for prayers for those who are currently grieving and prayers for the families who are still waiting for answers.
Nydia Cavazos, thank you very much for your continued reporting on the ground there. And I want to bring in now Chrissy Eliashar and her children, Benny, Dove, and Mayan, who experienced these floods firsthand. They were in Jonestown, Texas. Now, they were able to escape, but their home was severely damaged. We really appreciate you sitting down with us and making time. I'm so sorry to hear about what has happened. Chrissy, first, how are you and your family doing right now?
Thanks for sharing our story. We are alive and feeling that miracle right now. It's still really unreal and really difficult to put into words the catastrophe that we have experienced. Our house is completely destroyed. It was shifted off the foundations. The porch is gone. It was a river raging right underneath our house. It just appeared. And we were lucky to escape with our lives.
And Chrissy, we understand that floods hit your house early Saturday morning. Can you walk us through what happened? What was that escape like, especially trying to get everyone out the door?
We were blessed with an angel. Matthew Crowder was just a good Samaritan who happened to be in the area. He works across the street and began screaming and shouting when he noticed that the river was rising so quickly. And my son, Benny, heard him at 4 a.m. and ran to the front door, alerted me, I started to panic and scream, where are the police? Where are the fire department? This isn't safe to even try to cross. It was water up to my knees, up to my daughter's waist, and we, with 4 dogs, we had a friend over that night after fireworks, 4 kids. We walked from our front door